Have you ever kept a secret? How long can you keep a secret? What if I tell you I kept a secret my entire life? The secret that I kept for all my life was the abuse I suffered at the hands of my father. His behavior was beyond rage and outburst and screaming and hollering. It was beyond devastating to me and my family. I grew up feeling so alone. I grew up feeling like an orphan, even if I wasn't classified one. When I went to school, it was challenging and difficult. I remember having my 7th grade teacher, Mr. Fee, ask me to take my desk down the stairs with the nun at Catholic school and put it in the supply closet, and I was told to teach myself. I'll never forget when the secretary for the nun came in to the supply closet and she saw me there with the lights out and goes, "What?" I graduated the bottom of my high school class, actually 358 out of 368. But I got rejected by every college I applied to. It was very depressing and humiliating when my friends were all going to school. I did go into county college. I did well. But when I graduated, my life was in turmoil. I felt so despairing, so hopeless, that I had self-admitted myself to a private psychiatric hospital. I begged my parents to take me. And then one day, the priest from my parish, Father Gantley, came to visit me. I didn't know him. And he said to me, "Dennis, come over and see me one day when you get out of the hospital." I said, "Father, I will." And of course, I had no thoughts at all about seeing him when I got out. But one day, when I got out, after 4 or 5 weeks, being in an adolescent unit, I went to a therapy session in New York City, came home more distraught. I found the rectory, I rang the doorbell, and the first time in my life, I cried for hours in his room. I let it all out. I couldn't keep it anymore. I told about the pain and suffering and the humiliation and the just sense of despair I felt, that I was a loser. I couldn't stand being alive anymore. He had held my hand and listened. I finally trusted someone to open up to, finally. For 6 months, I used to ring the doorbell, would throw pebbles at the rectory, or sit in front of the church to see if Father Gantley would come home. After 6 months, Father Gantley got me into a day hospital program where I went from Monday through Friday from probably 9 to 5 in a group setting. It's the first time ever I really began to feel like I liked myself. I felt support, I had structure. I developed this voracious appetite to read, to learn. I would devour books on the great men and women of the world, literature, philosophy, religion, everything. I was fascinated by life. I dreamed of a good life. I wasn't sure how I was going to get there. At the age of 24, though, my father came home in some bad mood and threw me out of the house. I finally got a room at the YMCA, and I got a job as a houseman at a local hotel, the Ramada Inn. I felt actually independent. I have a place to stay outside my house for the first time. I eventually got a room in a boarding house. I shared a kitchen and bathroom with 2 other transients, but it was a start in my life that built my life from there. I had joined an independent living group with other people that were going through changes like I was, coming out of hospitals, coming out of different situations. And then after a year of this, I would not go to my 5th high school reunion. I was embarrassed. Divine intervention or whatever it was, somehow I said to myself, "Dennis, you got to get an education if you're going to go anywhere." I said, "Okay, but how am I going to get into college, Dennis? You got rejected by them all." And you know what? I wrote a letter to every school. I got accepted to all of them. I chose Rutgers University, and amazingly, I graduated tops of my class in Phi Beta Kappa. Now I decided I really wanted to have a career. What career would be meaningful to me? And I chose health administration over a Myers-Briggs test. But then I said, now I need a graduate degree. I'll never forget the day I was home alone and I got this thick letter. "You are admitted to the Columbia University School of Public Health Administration and Policy." I was like, oh my God, I was so excited. And as I began opening my life up to a therapist, guess what happened? I met my wife. Been married now 41 years to the best woman on the face of the earth. I started my first job in finance at a major medical center, before I know it, with a big consulting firm. 10 years after I was cleaning bathrooms at the hotel, I became a CFO for a community hospital. At the age of 37, I became the executive vice president, chief operating officer for a large Catholic medical center in northern New Jersey, right outside New York City. Became a corporate executive for 7 years and ran a publicly held healthcare consulting group and built it to be one of the largest and most profitable in the country. At the age of 49, I became president and CEO of another major medical center and foundation and took the organization to great heights. And over events at the hospital, I decided that it was time for me to step back, do something else with my life. 2 or 3 friends made Dennis, you should have your own business. I said, I like that idea. I'm kind of an entrepreneur, I have a good heart. I became like an advisor to nonprofits. Today, we have a national practice with 10 executives on my team. I'm so proud of the people I work with. So the end of my story is that in spite of how difficult your past circumstances are, your present life circumstances, there is a road forward. Don't give up. Seek help. Whether you're in business as a CEO, a chairman of the board, or involved in any aspect of life, a teacher, education, mental health, wherever you are, there is a road forward. And I know that because I experienced going from hopelessness and failure to happiness and success. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.